All right, guys, so we got to talk about Dr. Fauci, as he has made some news for some comments that he's made about the Omicron variant and whether or not he believes that families should spend time with relatives who happen to be unvaccinated, right? We're going to talk about that. But first, we need to talk about some more controversial comments, right? As Dr. Fauci is calling for Fox News anchor Jesse Waters to be fired from his job for some comments that he made at Turning Point USA, in which Dr. Fauci interpreted as a threat towards him. So without further ado, let's play this clip that unfortunately is from CNN, but I'm playing it because it basically summarizes what happened in a succinct and efficient way, so that you guys can understand exactly what happened, and then I want to give my commentary. Take a look.
That was Fox News host Jesse Waters Monday night at a Turning Point USA conference. Waters encouraged the right-wing crowd to create viral moments and rhetorically ambush Dr. Anthony Fauci and go for the kill shot by asking aggressive questions about research at the Wuhan lab. Fauci, who is President Biden's chief medical advisor, had this to say in response.
That's horrible. I mean, that just is such a reflection of the craziness that goes on in society.
Fauci has served more than 3 decades as the nation's top infectious disease doctor. He told CNN all he's ever done was encourage people to get vaccinated, wear a mask, and be careful in public settings.
For that, you have some guy out there saying that people should be giving me a kill shot to ambush me. Whatever network he's on is not going to do anything for him. I mean, that's crazy. The guy should be fired on the spot.
Fox News is defending Waters, saying in a statement he was using a metaphor for asking hard-hitting questions to Dr. Fauci about gain-of-function research, and his words have been twisted completely out of context.
All right, guys, so I think it goes without saying that Jesse Waters there was definitely using a metaphor. And the metaphor was for asking Dr. Fauci questions. And I think that any reasonable person that heard that, okay, in its full context, not taken out of context, could understand exactly what he was trying to say, right? Which is that, hey, you know, you should ask Dr. Fauci questions, right? This guy is one of the top medical professionals in this country, right? He is leading us in this pandemic. And he should be questioned. And for all the people that's outraged about this, particularly on the left, if you really want to have this conversation, we can have this conversation, because Maxine Waters actually goes out there and actually gives real calls to violence that are not metaphors, right? She tells people to get into people's faces, okay? To do all types of stuff, to confront people, okay? So again, if you want to have this conversation, we can have it, but the left's not going to win on this one, okay? They're not going to win on it, because people like Maxine Waters and people on networks like CNN, they essentially do this all the time, especially when it comes to Trump supporters, right? They do it all the time, and it's always crickets, right? They have nothing to say about that. But Jesse Waters makes what is a obvious metaphor. Oh man, outrage, right? Outrage. Okay, Fox News using dangerous rhetoric. Okay, now again, you know, it goes without saying, any calls to violence against Dr. Fauci are wrong. Okay, they're wrong. You should not be calling for violence against public figures. But I really don't think, in my opinion, that Jesse Waters was doing that. I really don't. Okay, and Fox News doesn't think that he was doing that. That's why they're not doing anything about it, because it's clear to anybody with a functioning brain that that's not what he was doing. That's not what he was saying. I mean, even CNN, which is a network that I don't think anybody works at that has a functioning brain, even interpreted the comment says, yeah, it was a metaphor for asking hard-hitting questions, even though they tried to spin it in a way to make it seem like a threat, even though they know it wasn't. Okay, that's why they said that, because they know that it basically was just saying, hey, you should ask Dr. Fauci questions. Even they know that. Even CNN knows that. So again, I got questions about how Dr. Fauci, for whatever reason, is taking this as a threat of violence. And I'm like, Fauci, did you actually listen to everything that he said? Right? Did you actually listen? Because if you listen to what he said, the only thing he was saying is that people need to ask you questions about, you know, COVID and the origins of this virus, and, you know, whether or not, you know, we potentially funded gain of function research in this Wuhan lab, right? I think that those are very reasonable things to ask him, considering all the things that we know, the things that have been revealed to us by the media and other independent journalists about what has going on over there, right? I think those are very, very, very reasonable questions. And Fauci's response to this, in my opinion, is very disturbing to me. It really is. Because this is a trend now that Fauci doesn't really feel like he should be questioned, right? That people can't ask questions. And I'm just like, bro, you're the same person that talks about science all the time. With you, it's always like, science, science, science. And the essence of science is asking questions, right? You're supposed to question things. That is the foundation of science. Again, this is a guy who calls himself a scientist, okay? And again, this comes after he basically went out to Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, right? Saying that they can't question him because he's science, right? Questioning him is like questioning science. Again, in my opinion, that's some scary stuff, man. For one of the top medical professionals in this country to repeatedly come out here in public and say that you can't question him, because I want to believe that Fauci is smart enough and aware enough to understand what Jesse Waters is trying to say, right? I hope that he's aware enough to know that Jesse Waters was making a metaphor. So in my opinion, him saying this and him trying to play victim here is basically him also saying, yeah, don't question me, right? Don't question me. And I'm saying this because Fauci has said this in the past. And again, this right here, in my opinion, guys, this is a disturbing trend, okay? Because, at the end of the day, Dr. Fauci, you should just let the science speak for itself. You are a doctor. It is okay for people to ask you questions, okay? Especially when you're going out here and basically telling people that they can't spend time with their family members who happen to be unvaccinated.
If someone in your family isn't vaccinated, should you ask them not to show up?
Yes, I would do that. I mean, I think we're dealing with a serious enough situation right now that if there's an unvaccinated person, I would say, I'm very sorry, but not this time, maybe another time when this is all over.
So yeah, when you come out here and you say stuff like this, right? You tell people that, hey, you can't spend time this holiday season with family members who are unvaccinated. People are going to have questions. They're going to want to know why. And you have to answer those questions. There are a ton of questions that you have to answer, right? And when these medical professionals, these bureaucrats in government are telling you stop asking questions, again, that, in my opinion, is very disturbing. It is very disturbing, right? It's almost like Fauci thinks that he's above criticism, and it's like, dude, you're not. And I really just wish that Fauci and a lot of these people, including the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, just come out here and just say, listen, guys, the science is changing over time. Honestly, I don't know, right? I don't know. And because I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and advocate for things like telling you not to spend time with your family members, especially considering the fact that we have the vaccines. The vaccines play their role, okay? And honestly, telling people that they can't spend time with unvaccinated family members, it kind of undermines the vaccine. It really does. I don't know if they realize that. I don't know if they realize that all the things that they're saying, pushing this segregation in society between the vaccinated and unvaccinated, is really not selling the vaccine very, very well, right? It's making a lot of people question the vaccine when they otherwise wouldn't be doing that. But again, when you're telling people that, hey, even if you're vaccinated, you can't spend time with unvaccinated people because of X, Y, and Z reason, again, it makes people ask questions. Again, and it's bad that when you have these questions, you can't even ask these questions because Fauci gets offended by people asking questions, right? It's really ridiculous and it's silly. And I'm going to tell you, man, these people are really their worst enemy. They're their own worst enemy because all they have to do is come out here and just tell the truth and say, you know what? We don't know. We're dealing with it, okay? I'm simply telling you, hey, this is what we advise, but we're not forcing you to do anything. We're not forcing any mandates on you. You live your life, right? Because we're learning just like everybody else is learning, right? I really wish these people would say that. I really wish they would come out here and say, you know what you should do outside of just getting vaccinated, try to be a healthier person in general, right? Try to eat right, exercise, lose some weight, okay? Do things just to be healthier in general. And that's going to help everybody kind of get through this pandemic, right? That's going to help everybody move forward with this. right? I really wish that they would just say that, okay? And stop sitting here trying to act like you're holier than thou, that you're above criticism, when at the end of the day, people, including, again, the top doctors in this country, have gotten things wrong. Or put it this way, yesterday's facts have become today's myths, right? And today's facts will become tomorrow's myths. That's just how it works, because science is evolving. And that's why it's important that you keep asking questions, right? That's why it's important to keep asking questions. Again, these people, I don't know if they realize or not, but they are really undermining their own authority. They really are. They really are. And it's really making things a lot worse than what it is. It's causing divisiveness in this country. And it's something I'm just getting sick and tired of. I really am. I really am. And I understand why a lot of American people are getting sick and tired of it. Even the mainstream liberal media is getting sick and tired of it. Now, again, there's people like Shepard Smith. I just did a video on it where he's coming out here saying like, bro, if I'm vaccinated, why the hell do I gotta keep following all these rules, right? Again, even the mainstream liberal journalists, they even got questions now. Because again, you are not necessarily instilling confidence in people with all this, you can't question me, implementing these mandates and doing all this stuff, and just instead of just coming out and just telling the truth, right? Coming out and just saying, hey, listen, guys, we don't know. The science evolves over time. This is what we advise you do, but you don't have to, right? Live your life, be healthy, take care of yourself, right? That's what they should probably be saying, okay? That's what they should probably be saying. But hey, at the end of the day, some people are on a power trip, right? They're on a power trip, and I think a lot of these politicians, these medical professionals, and big pharma in this country, they're definitely on a power trip right now. And it is hard to give up power when you gain power, especially like this. So once again, Fauci saying, don't question me, right? You can't ask questions. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.